And welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Lucas Johnson returns, and back with this Emily Show 22 custom franchise here in Custom League. And back to recording for the first time in a while. It's been a little bit since I have been behind the mic. I was home for the holidays for about a week and then have come back from a trip to Iowa. So I'm back home, or back in Tennessee now, and ready to record some more videos for you guys. So sorry about the kind of the long wait in between those videos that we capped the season here. But we have the playoffs starting now, and just a crazy last week or so here back home. Last really couple of weeks for me, but back to recording and excited to get the playoffs started. A good video to come back to here in this one, with the postseason beginning with the National League Wildcard game. We'll play the AL Wildcard game later on in this video. But we start with the Nashville Stars and the Minneapolis Millers. Nashville, when it made it to the World Series last year in this franchise, the Millers were about a 500 team, but 88 wins this season, compared to Nashville had 84. The Millers this year, again, just had a crazy last month of the season. They were about a 500 team for a lot of the year, but their last month was incredible, and it sets up a really intriguing team. I like this team a lot. They got a great offense, the best in baseball in terms of hitting home runs and overall offense. I mean, it's one of the best in the league. And Kevin Gausman on the mound in this one for the Millers. Their pitching staff, top to bottom, might not be the greatest. Kevin Gausman is a legit ace. He has been incredible the first two seasons of this franchise. He had a 2.76 ERA and a 1.1 whip this year with over 200 strikeouts at 216. So he was fantastic. And the pitching staff overall from top to bottom is not awful by any means. But, it's not a star-studded pitching staff necessarily outside of Kevin Gausman. They also, obviously, they got to win this game for us to see those other pitchers, but they have some other guys there in that rotation. And we'll talk about Nashville here, the batting order. You got Lindor, Davis, Schwarber, Goldsmith, Polanco, Harris, Kepler, Lewis, and Manny Pena. 193 homers this season. That is 6th in the National League. This was the #1 team in the NL last season, #1 offense in the NL in terms of the power. So it's definitely had a sharp drop-off this year. J.D. Davis, only 16 homers this season, 56 RBIs. Didn't really have a fantastic year, all things considered. A definite downgrade from last year. And that's kind of what this team was all season. Just not as good as last year. Obviously, they didn't have their superstar, Mike Trout, for a lot of the season this year. But even still, this is just not as good of an offense this year. Lindor at the top of the order only batted .230 this year. Kyle Schwarber only had 21 homers. I had over 800 OPS this year, so we still had a good season, but last year was exceptional for him. Last year he had, 30-plus bombs, and so his power dropped off this year as well. Swings and misses here. Gausman's got the first 2 outs of this first inning, and there's a ground ball to the second baseman. Throw to first is going to be in time there, so what is the ceiling for this team here in the Stars? And they will point out Clayton Kershaw here, and obviously the guy with a ton of experience, ton of playoff experience, 2.98 ERA this season, 1.17 whip, and real life career is over for him. In this game, he's still got a few more years left in the tank, I think. Luis Arraez, one of the best on-base machines in baseball, 2.98 average this season. Not a power guy, only 10 homers all year, but one of the best guys in terms of average, getting on base this whole season. That is his name of his game. And let's look at this Millers offense. Arraez there at the top, Gavin Sheets, number 2, Tatis, Bryant, Ramos, Pollock, Suarez, Jonathan India, and then the catcher Tom Murphy. 253 average in the for a team as a team this year. That is 3rd in the National League this season. I think a top 5 offense in that category with the average this year. Gavin Sheets, 39 bombs, over 900 OPS. He absolutely popped off and had a career season this year. And this offense overall, Fernando Tatis is on deck. He's an MVP candidate this season. Had almost 50 bombs and almost 150 RBIs this year. Led the National League, led all of baseball in terms of RBIs, and I believe led all baseball in home runs as well. And he's going to get on here with a man on first base and 1 out in this inning. That's a fastball outside. And let's look at this numbers for Fernando. 49 bombs, 141 RBIs, 278 average, and 974 OPS. He is an MVP candidate. He just had such a great season. And if this team wants to go far in the playoffs, Fernando Tatis and his success is going to be critical to that. And by the way, I will mention, sorry about the sound in this video, and in the next couple of playoff games, the sound will be a little bit wacky because I unfortunately have my microphone on when I did not realize it when I was playing these games. So I'm talking to my roommates here. They were kind of in the background occasionally in this video. So we're having to adjust the sound a lot right now. But Chris Bryant comes up, and Chris Bryant, he's a key to this team's success this season. Swings and misses at that pitch, but you saw his numbers there. He had an incredible year this season. And yeah, I mean, really, reverting to form. I wish he could do that in real life, but he was fantastic this season. One of the better years of his career. Paul Goldschmidt, 280 average, 831 OPS, 23 home runs for him. Again, a good season. He was this team's best hitter all year. And that's going to be a base hit up the middle for a single. So he gets on here. I mean, best hitter on this team all year. Nothing to really complain about. Obviously, it's not nearly as good as he was last year. He was an MVP candidate last season. A lighter right there along with Trout. And such a monster part of that team. You know, the guy that hit the home run that sent this team to the World Series last season. And Polanco, how important has he been to this team's success? 773 OPS, 20 home runs, 81 RBIs. The best clutch hitter on this lineup. That's a swing and a miss, though. Gausman's got his first K of the game right there with that pitch. But Polanco, one of the best clutch hitters on this team, got him after about a month of the season, pretty much right after the Mike Trout injury happened. And there's another strikeout for Gausman. Michael Harris at the plate there. Harris didn't really have a great season. Pretty disappointing. Overall, his rookie year was just very average, pretty below average overall in terms of OPS and power and all that. Max Kepler has had to step into a bigger role this season. Played a lot more, I think, than last year. He played a pretty decent amount last season. But, you know, he was good. I think I like him. I mean, he's a player that, you know, very consistent, a 730 OPS guy for the most part, kind of low average, but pretty decent power in his bat. Now, that is a strikeout of the side for Kevin Gausman right there in that inning, and that was a filthy off-speed pitch to get his third strikeout of that frame. And here's Gino Suarez. Very low average this year. I think it was below 200 this season, but he does have some power in his bat as he gets a base hit here off of Clayton Kershaw. That is a strike to Jonathan India. Rookie of the year a couple of years ago. This season, yeah, 239 average, only 13 homers and 40 RBIs. Not exceptional. I don't know. Jonathan India has kind of underwhelmed me so far in the first couple of seasons of this franchise. Whoa, that throw to first base went over the head of Davis, and up to second goes the runner. Wow, okay, that was just a blunder there by Manny Pena, and it's going to catch out right here. That's a base hit down the line. Extra bases, the run scores, and Jonathan India capitalizes on the error by Pena to give the Millers the lead. So a bad throw by Pena moves the runner into scoring position, and immediately the Millers take advantage. They get the first draw here off of Kershaw in this game, and it's the bottom of the order there coming up clutch with Suarez and India getting on and getting hits. That's a fly ball by Tom Murphy. The catch there is made in center. Catcher has been a spot of concern. This team has not really had a consistent catcher all year. But Jonathan India, man, big hit for him. 2 in that inning for the Millers. They strike first in the wildcard game. And here's Royce Lewis. Played a month up here in the majors. Is on the playoff roster. Really did not play very well in the majors. As that's another swing and a miss. A slider way outside. Gausman's got his 4th of the game. 4 in a row. And this is kind of concerning if you're Nashville here. That's a fastball right down the middle that Lindor does not hit. Right now, Gausman is really looking to get settled in. And the Millers did provide him with a lead. That is huge. 3-2. Count. That misses for a ball 4. That is the first base runner of the game. Actually, the second base runner of the game for Nashville. They did get a single earlier. J.D. Davis is at the plate here. Second at bat, and that's on the corner. A slider, a beauty for the strikeouts. 2 more in that frame for Gausman, who walks around the 2-out walk. And that's another 0. So bottom 3, we go 2 down in the inning. Fernando Tatis Jr. at the plate. And Kershaw pitching here. And I wanted to touch kind of on the Nashville pitching staff because it really was the biggest reason that they're in this game. That's a super dangerous pitch. Why would you ever throw that pitch to Fernando there? Really need to check your location. 0-2. And that's a much better slider there on the corner. Actually, a ball inside. I mean, not going to hit that pitch no matter how hard you try for Fernando there. And that's his second strikeout for Kershaw, who was really good this season. Traded him for Paul Stevenson, I believe, was the pitcher that they traded away to get him in the offseason. And it's been a trade that I think has worked out. I mean, it definitely worked out for Nashville. He was this team's, probably their best pitcher. Another hit for Goldschmidt. Wow, okay, 2 for him today. The entire offense right now for Nashville against Gausman so far. But he's been really spectacular. Noah Syndergaard has been unreal as well this season. Their pitching overall, from top to bottom, has been the best part about this team. Their bullpen has been very good as well. That's a fly ball into center, and I believe Chris Bryant is out there playing center field in this game. And he went off the bottom of the 4th, but he didn't do anything here, as now there's 2 down in the inning, and that one gets on through and into the outfield for a hit. So who just got that single? That is A.J. Pollock, who is a free agent at the end of the year. So we'll see what ends up happening with him this offseason. Gino back up to 11 average for him. Okay, he had 23 home runs, 77 RBIs this season. 1-2 count to him here, and it's a pop-up in the infield, first base line. That actually is not J.D. Davis. That is Paul Goldschmidt there. J.D. Davis is the DH for this team, I believe. He has to be, as we go to the top of the 5th. And Royce Lewis, a couple of home runs, 7 RBIs. A player that definitely will probably, be on the starting lineup next season for this Nashville squad. I want to see what he can do. He's going to be 25 next year. So, this season for him, not what we wanted to see, and he strikes out again on the same pitch, basically. I mean, that was like the exact same pitch that he struck out the first time on there, and way outside slider. So you can tell, I mean, he's kind of flailing at these pitches. He was out in front of that pitch a lot, and does kind of look unprepared for these Major League hitters, but man, we gotta get him some reps. At this point in his career, he's an old prospect at this point, as that's a swing and a miss by Manny Pena, who, the Nashville Stars are going to have to try and figure out something with the catcher position, because Manny Pena is a free agent, and I do not think that Nashville is going to re-sign him. They don't really have a reason to. He's not a good offensive catcher at all. Liability there at the plate. That's 7 strikeouts, though, for Gausman so far. Kershaw, 51 strikes to 26 balls. The pitch count is in an okay spot at 77 right now. Let's see how much more he can go. And Tom Murphy is going to swing and miss. Wow, that was a beautiful curveball right there from Kershaw. 3rd strikeout of the game, and I mean, just such a slow pitch. And look at the way that that ball moves. I mean, just such a slow pitch with great downward movement. Excellent pitch location in that at-bat by Kershaw there. And now Arias is at the plate, and he's going to take a fastball there inside, and it hits him square. So definitely a missed throw there by Kershaw. As now it'll bring up Gavin Sheets here. 2 down in the inning. Kershaw over 80 pitches now. Ground ball. That one's back up the middle. And Sheets has got himself a single. And, the Millers haven't scored a ton yet, but they put pressure on Kershaw in a few of these innings now. And they bring up their best hitter here, extending the inning for Fernando, which is obviously what the Millers want to do. Put him with guys on base is definitely what they want with the guy that had almost 50 homers this season. So 0 for 2 in this game so far. A strikeout and a ground out. Here comes a 1-1, and it's a curveball, missing location by Kershaw, and it is long gone. 49 bombs in the regular season for Tatis. That's his first of this postseason, and the Millers, they will extend the lead. 3-run Jack makes it 4-0 Minneapolis. 4-0 game in the 5th inning now, and Fernando, he's the star of this team, the star of the show, one of the best young up-and-coming players in the major leagues, and, taking the league by storm with his energy and how good and talented he is, and this season was mind-blowing what he was able to do, and again, this team is only going to go as far as Tatis will take them, in my opinion, here. That is how important he is to this roster. And Kershaw, again, missed with that pitch, too. That curveball was way up in the zone as well. So, a couple of misses in location here for Kershaw in this 5th inning. And that was a slider that doesn't even touch the zone. Not a competitive pitch at all. Full count to Bryan, and that curveball misses. So, this is a rough inning here for Clayton Kershaw. And that is a walk, I believe, the second of the game, and now they're going to go to the bullpen here. Kershaw is going to be taken out in the 5th inning. So can't complete a quality start, can't complete 5 frames. Overall, not really the start you wanted to see from your ace in this one. Ranger Suarez comes out, 125 innings for him, 3.23 ERA and a 1.32 whip with over 100 strikeouts. He had a good year for Nashville out of the bullpen, but they go to the bullpen probably earlier than they wanted to, and their offense, which has done nothing against Kevin Gausman so far, has only gotten 1 hit off of him so far in this game. Now is down 4-0. There's a base hit by Healer Ramos, who is an outfielder on this team, and I like what he did this season, and kind of limited action. He wasn't starting all the season this year for this squad, as that's a strikeout for Suarez to end a really rough 5th inning for Nashville there. I believe 3 or 4 hits in that frame, but a big one. 3-run home run by Tatis. And we go to the 6th inning now, and it's desperate time for an offense that struggled to be consistent all year this season and is now getting absolutely dominated by Kevin Gausman at the moment. But he is 3-0 on Davis, and he's already walked a couple of batters in this game. Now trying to avoid another one here. He does come back with a couple of strikes here and a foul ball to bring the count even. And Kevin Gausman's at 84 pitches right now as well, so, we'll see. Maybe a couple more innings for him is probably all he's going to have. As that's a swing and a miss. Splitter just nasty. He is just located so well in this game. I have not really seen a mistake pitch from him all night. The off-speed stuff is just filthy. Not even bad swing timing there, but just a pitch that you can't do anything with. 8 strikeouts for Gausman, and that's wow, that changeup absolutely fooled Schwarber there. He's like, man, I gotta adjust my batting goals. That was just a terrible pitch to swing at. And there's another swing and a miss. Splitter in the dirt. Man, he is fooling these hitters. 9 strikeouts for Kevin Gausman through 6 brilliant 2-hit innings. Man, this is the type of start you want to see from your ace pitcher, and he's setting this team up to win this bowl game right now. See if their offense can add on to it at all. Suarez has got the first 2 in the 6th inning here, and that's a swing and a miss. Wow, that curveball was way in the dirt and not even close. So that's strike 3, and a big K there for Suarez, and he's come in and gave up a hit immediately, but a big out in the 5th, and then a 1-2-3-6 inning. So good stuff from him as we go to the top of the 7th. 9 outs left, and I'm telling you, 4 runs, maybe not as big of a deal in the regular season, but 4 runs right now for this team, the way that they're playing, is a monstrous hill to climb. They got to get something off of Gausman here in this frame. It seems this is probably going to be his last inning of the day, as, over 90 pitches now. Gets the first out of the inning. Polanco is up here. He takes a fastball. That is a strike. Count it 1-2. Hanging on 9 strikeouts is Kevin here. And let's see what he comes with the 2-strike pitch. And it's a ground ball. A splitter but right to Suarez at shortstop, and that is an easy second out. So, already a quality start, unless disaster strikes in this 7th inning for Kevin Gausman here, but can he get through 7 frames? Michael Harris stands in his way. Harris at 241 average this year, below 700 OPS, and that's a fly ball. That's into the gap here. Ramos on the move, and he can't get it. Lands right in between both outfielders, and up to second goes Michael Harris. Only the 3rd hit of the game for the Stars, and the first extra base hit of the night. And I believe this is the first time that they have had a runner even in scoring position today. Love this field, by the way, in Minnesota, here in Minneapolis. Really, really cool outfield, I think. As 100 pitches now for Gausman. That is a beautiful pitch, man, on the corner for a strike. And Kepler struck out at least once in this game. And for Gausman, this should be his last batter of the day. He gets another strike here. Foul ball on a really good, well-located splitter there. Bottom of the zone, below the knees. And here comes a huge 0-2 pitch from Gausman. And it's a swing and a miss! Curveball down, outside and low. Perfect location by Gausman. And he finishes with 10 Ks. Double-digit strikeouts for him. What a night for Kevin Gausman. No Ramirez comes out of 3.86 ERA for him this season. He was good in this bullpen. But man, oh man, only 6 more outs to go for the Millers. It will be their first postseason win in their history here. That's a fly ball. It's deep by Fernando, and he's got another one! Yes, he does! It's gone! Tatis with a multi-homer game here in the wild card. And the star of this team shows up here tonight when they need him. 5-0 Minneapolis. The hill gets even bigger for Nashville to overcome. And there's Tatis celebrating in the dugout with his teammates. 49 home runs again, led all of baseball, I believe, with that mark. And how about a game for him? 4 RBIs, 2 bombs. That one 363 feet into right field. And there's a swing and miss. That's a strikeout there. Ramirez gets the out. But Fernando tacks on another run. And, you don't complain about a bigger lead in this game at this point here. 6 more outs, and the Stars have got to find a way to get 5 runs here off of the Millers bullpen, which, that's might be easier. At least they're going to see Kevin Gausman lead this game. Chris Martin comes out for the Millers here. 58.1 innings, a 3.39 ERA, and a 1.18 whip in this season. Not a big strikeout guy, only 37 this year. Did kind of struggle at times with the walks, but he is a really good pitcher. I don't know if he's this team setup man. I believe he is. That's a that's a ground ball into left. And our boy Royce Lewis, the rookie here, getting on to lead off the 8th inning with a single. So Manny Pena up now, and he barely taps it. Basically a bunt. Although, you're down by 5, you don't necessarily need a bunt here. But that's what happens there, basically moves up the runner to second base. So here's Lindor, 29 home runs, 64 RBIs for him, a 758 OPS. And a big spot for him to try and come through here is that is a fastball inside, and it, nearly has to jump out of the way of that pitch. And now a 2-2. Okay, Cutter just barely misses on the outside of the zone. Count running full here on Lindor with Davis sitting on deck, and that's ball 4. Okay, this has not been a good start to this frame for Chris Martin. 2 base runners on. First time all day that Nashville has had 2 base runners on, and you absolutely need to come through right here, do something with this opportunity. That's a fly ball by Davis, and that one is going to land in the outfield. Scoring is Royce Lewis, and J.D. Davis will come through here in the clutch. Nashville will be on the board after that swing. So 5-1 game. Good swing by J.D. Davis. And now it's Schwarber. I mean, this is the heart of this team's batting order right here, so no better time than now to come through and try to claw back in this game, man. If only this team had Mike Trout, this lineup would be so much more dangerous. But that's a ground ball. There's another hit, and that's a single by Schwarber. I mean, Nashville's going to try to chip away at this lead. They got a couple of runs back now, 5-2. I mean, that ball was hit really hard. A rocket by Schwarber at 110 extra velo there. Crushed that pitch, and now they're going to go back to the bullpen here. Chris Martin can't get it done, so they bring out Liam Hendricks, who had a pretty decent season this year, 3.62 ERA and a 1.11 whip here, 34 strikeouts for him on the year, and I believe he is their actual setup man. But Paul Goldschmidt here is at the plate, and this game just got a lot more interesting here. 2 runners on. Paul Goldschmidt is actually a tying run that is at the plate at the moment here. And he's going to fly that one into center. Oh, man. I mean, hit really hard by Goldschmidt here, who had 2 hits previously in this game, but it was right at Chris Bryant. So that is a big-time second out, a pretty unfortunate second out if you're Nashville, because he hit the ball so hard there. But now it's Roy Polanco. I mean, what better guy to come up clutch for? He's done it all year. That's a line drive, base hit. Up the middle, that's going to score another run. Bryant has some trouble with it in the outfield, and that's going to have the runners move up an extra 90 feet. So, I don't know if that's going to end up being a double or not, maybe, but at least a single, an RBI hit for Jorge Polanco, and it's 5-3. I mean, line drive back up the middle, great swing, great contact there by Polanco, who again comes through for the Stars. And they've now made a serious dent in this lead here. Bring out Victor Robles as a pinch runner, and don't know why. Okay, he's going to score on a base hit regardless of the man at third base, because he's running on contact, but whatever. Yeah, you just took out Kyle Schwarber to do that. That was not a good move in my opinion there. But anyway, Michael Harris is up, and he's going to swing and miss. That's a huge strikeout. Okay, Kyle Hendricks gives up the single, but at least gets a monster K to end the threat for the Stars. So, I mean, a good inning for Nashville, for sure. Okay, they're right back in this game right now. 3-5 game. They get 3 in that 8th inning, and now only down by 2. So now, all of a sudden, Victor Robles in the game. That I don't like that, because you take Kyle Schwarber, one of their best hitters, out of the batting order to do that. But anyway, Ronaldo Lopez comes out, and he did not really have a fantastic year this year. 4.7 ERA at a 1.4 whip this season. Definitely not as good as last year was for him. But now, all of a sudden, as that's a strike to Julio Ramos here, can the Millers add to this lead? It's now only 2. So, some insurance runs would be nice, but they're not going to get any here, as that's a swing and a miss. And a good inning by Ronaldo Lopez to keep the game at 5-3. Good pitch there. Suarez, no chance on that one. And here we go to the 9th inning of the wildcard game. And out comes Blake Trinan, 42 out of 50 in save opportunities, at 3.77 ERA and a 1.21 whip for him this year. Only 12 walks, the 37 strikeouts. Good season for Trinan, who was signed to, I think, 4 or 5 years in the offseason for the Millers to bring back to this team. And he's been their closer this year. And here he is trying to shut down the Nashville Stars here in the 9th inning. But Max Kepler has something to say about that. That's going to be an extra base hit because of the shift there in left field, and an extra base knock to begin the 9th is exactly what the Nashville needed. So a man on, Royce Lewis, the tying run. He's going to swing at a pitch that was way inside there. Definitely not a good swing. He's singled and scored back in the 8th inning. Biggest spot of his young career here at this point, is that's a little tiny chopper back out in front of the mound, and okay, guess it kind of works like a bunt. Not necessarily ideal, but there is a man 90 feet away now, and still the tying run is going to come up here. Before Manny Pena at 614 OPS, terrible offensive numbers, but if he can get something to the outfield here, then that's going to be another run. And it's a little tiny blooper in the infield. Oh, come on, man. that is exactly what you can't have. Just a unproductive at-bat in that spot to not even drive home the run. That is brutal. And now it's going to be up to Lindor. He's got to come through with a hit here at this point. So 1-1. The count. That's a foul ball. Good sinker by Trinan. Brings the count to 1-2. And Nashville down to their last strike. The World Series, the annual pennant winners last year. Can they stay alive this season here? That's a line drive. A mistaken location on the slider, and Lindor takes advantage. An absolute missile into left center field and an easy RBI double. So Lindor comes through, and it's a one-run game. Folks, this one is not over yet. 4 unanswered here in the last 2 innings by the Nashville Stars. And now the tying run is on base. Man, this is when it gets exciting. When the game comes down to this. Oh man, J.D. Davis almost got hit there with that pitch. And this has been a shaky inning for Blake Trinan, who's already had 23 pitches here in the 9th. I mean, 3-0 now to Davis, and at this point, probably just going to walk him. I mean, that was not even close. Wow, okay. Very uncompetitive at bat there by Blake Trinan, and now that's a go-ahead run there that is on base for Nashville. Victor Robles is now up, and that's where, why did you take Kyle Schwarber out of the game? It's going to come down to him now, and he was awful this season. Just a liability at the plate. Yeah, okay, this is where it's going to come back to maybe bite them in the butt here. Victor Robles has got to come through. He gets a strike 2 on the corner here. Good pitch by Blake Trinan. And now, once again, down to their last strike. Here's a 1-2 to him, man. It's in the dirt, okay? Ground ball, and they're going to try to move their runners up, and oh my goodness, Lindor is thrown out at third base. That's how the game ends. The Millers win the National League Wildcard game. On that. Wow. So you take the bat out of Victor Robles' hands there, and you take the risk. The ball doesn't get away from Murphy as much as they thought it would, and he guns the runner at third base. That is a brutal way to have your season end right there for Nashville. Wow, they have the go-ahead run on base. A really close rally here. They got 4, and they got it all off the bullpen. They couldn't do anything against Kevin Gausman, and then they were able to get 4 off of the bullpen, and they had a chance there in the 9th inning to tie or take the lead, and they will fall just short. So for Nashville, I mean, their offense did nothing for 7 innings, and then they kind of came alive. Lindor, Davis, and Schwarber all had RBIs. And again, I still did not like the move to bring Robles in the game in the 8th inning. I just don't think it, I mean, it didn't really work out. Not Victor Robles' fault there that happened to him, of course. But yeah, I mean, actually everybody got a hit for this team in this game except for Manny Pena there at the very bottom. So, I mean, the offense overall, it just took too long for them to get going in this game. And Clayton Kershaw didn't have his best stuff today. 4 runs for him in 4.2 innings with 5 hits allowed this game. And then Ramirez, that run that he gave up in the 7th inning actually ended up being very, very important to how this game turned out. And the Millers, they had enough offense there, and they had one guy that carried them in this game, and that is going to have to carry them if they continue in this postseason. If they want to go on a deep run, Fernando Tatis Jr., 2 home runs, 4 ribbies. Jonathan India, a double, and the only other extra base hit of the game for Minneapolis, and the only other RBI of the game as well. Paul Suarez had a hit, as well as Ramos and Sheets. And I like Minneapolis, man. I think they're pitching pretty solid. Top to bottom, Kevin Gausman was unreal in this start. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts. That's you just cannot ask for more than that from your ace pitcher in a playoff wildcard game. Martin did struggle, though. Gave up 3 runs in 0.1 innings, but Hendricks and Trinan came in, did their jobs. Trinan a little bit shaky in that 9th inning, but does get the save. And Minneapolis gets the win. They will face the number 1 seed, the best team record-wise in this playoff bracket this year in the Kansas City Monarchs. So that is who they will play, and that series will begin in a couple of episodes from now. But we have the other wildcard game going on here as well between the Boston Barons and the Toronto Raptors, and between Logan Webb and Mike Clevenger. And Logan Webb, was with this team last year. He did not pitch in this game, though, last season because he was hurt last year when this team made it to the playoffs. This team was the best team record-wise in the entire league last year. They got that first round bye, then they lost to the wildcard team in New York last season. Mike Clevenger coming over from Tampa Bay. Very good signing for Boston. Definitely one that worked out for them, and a huge addition. I mean, they needed that after their pitching staff was kind of decimated. A lot of guys left in free agency from the pitching staff that they had last year, and Mike Clevenger was huge for them this season. So Mexico City, the Diablos are awaiting the winner of this, whoever wins this matchup here in the American League. And again, the Barons, they won their division last year. This year, they were not able to take it from New York. 89 wins, both teams with 89 wins. The Seattle Raptors used a incredible last month of the season where they lost like 3 or 4, like 5 games or something like that. Ridiculous stuff to get to the playoffs and nearly win their division. They did not end up doing that, though. They lost in the final day of the year to lose out on a division title for a second straight season. But this is a dangerous team. This is a great offense, really solid pitching staff from top to bottom, and it's fully healthy this year with Logan Webb being able to start in this game. So definitely a dangerous team. Both of these teams are. Don't want to count either one of these teams out. I think they're going to be a tough challenge for Mexico City, whoever they face. Logan Webb with this year, 2.93 ERA, 218 innings, 161 strikeouts, 1.12 whip. I mean, just fantastic numbers for him. Trevor Story, also fantastic, 291 average, 880 OPS, 27 bombs, and 75 RBIs. And fully healthy this season. Was not fully healthy last year, the entire year. Didn't really even play that well when he was healthy last year. And so him being on the field every day and him having that type of a season was huge for the Barons. And he drives one right back up the middle against Webb there and gets on with a single. There's Alexander Kirk, one of the best offensive catchers in all of baseball, and he had a fantastic season at the plate this year. Just an incredible hitter, one of a kind of player. He will fly into right field, and here's a look at this Barons lineup that was third and second in the AL in home runs. Story, Kirk, Luis Urias, Kyle Tucker, Darren Ruff, Van Meter, Dustin Harris, Kevin Biggio, and Kike Hernandez there in the bottom. Luis Urias is definitely a staple of this team. He's right in the middle of this batting order. Very good numbers this year with a 799 OPS, 26 homers, and 79 RBIs. Yeah, just a really solid player there for them. Very reliable guy the last couple of years. And he's going to take a change up there on the corner. Count moves to 0-2 to him here. As there's a swing and a miss. And it's a slider way outside of the zone. Perfect, good two-strike pitch there by Logan Webb. Now he's got to face the most dangerous hitter in this batting order in Kyle Tucker. 279 average, 878 OPS, 32 homers, 104 RBIs, led the team. And he is just such an incredible hitter here. Trying to steal second base is Trevor Story, and he is thrown out. Good play by Travis d'Arnaud there to get him at second base. And Travis d'Arnaud, a guy that his future with this team is uncertain after this playoff run because he is a free agent. But Boston, there's Mike Clevenger. Saw his numbers a little bit earlier before we got into this game, but a 3.45 ERA for him in 203 innings this season. I mean, a lot better season than he had last year as one of the best strikeout pitchers in the league this year with 218 of them. And he'll face off against Lane Thomas, excuse me. A 753 OPS for him this year. He was pretty good and kind of a utility role for this team, but he is starting every day here on their playoff roster. As that's a swing and a miss. Four-seamer inside. Part of the plate for a big-time strikeout there. So, beautiful pitch by Clevenger there. I mean, just this such a well-located fastball there inside corner. And a strikeout to begin his night. And here's Xander Bogaerts. Of course, he is a really awesome hitter. That is his strong suit here. He pops it up into the infield, though. The second baseman, Story, is there to catch it. And let's look at this Seattle offense here. Third in the AL in average this season. Lane Thomas, Xander Bogaerts, we've already seen those two guys. Soto, Hernandez, Jared Walsh, Yandy Diaz, Nick Solak, Gio Urshela, and Travis d'Arnaud. A really good batting order, like where this lineup is at for sure. And, you know, the addition of Teoscar Hernandez to this offense was a big piece for them as well. And, of course, the star of this offense is still Juan Soto. Not as good as last year for him. He was an MVP last season. Not as good this year with the offense, but still, he's still a fantastic player. Great talent overall, and still had a very good year offensively. That's a slider there for the strikeout, and I don't know what Kyle Tucker was waiting for there. That's not a pitch that he takes very often, I don't think, but either way, looks at that for this third strike. Jalen Ruff is up, 730 OPS, 17 homers, 56 ribbies for him this season. It was kind of, you know, pushed to a utility backup role after the call-up of Dustin Harris, but he's getting the start here in the lineup every day for them in this playoff run as he swings and misses. I mean, that was just filthy. What are you swinging at that? You don't hit that slider that was way up at the top of the zone, but then you swing at that sinker there. Not a good look for that's a swing and a miss. Josh Van Meter strikes out. Not a good look for Darren Ruff there. Van Meter swings and misses, and a couple of strikeouts there for Logan Webb in the second inning. He's looking good so far. So here's Teoscar Hernandez, 265 average, 33 homers, and 92 RBIs. But he did his production did decline when he got here. He finishes with an 829 OPS, but he was traded at a 9 when he had a 900 OPS. But he's gonna come through here, and he's gonna get a double immediately. You know, a guy with a lot of playoff experience, honestly. And, I mean, still, I think he's going to have to be important to this offense if this team wants to go far in the playoffs this year. He's got to be a big part of their team here, and now it's Jared Walsh. So, main in scoring position, Jared Walsh had a fantastic season, one of the best of his career. He grounded over to second base for the first out. And here's Yandy Diaz, who came out of nowhere this season, man. 297 average for him, 832 OPS. Just a fantastic season for him. He just got on base like crazy this year. Walked a ton and did not strike out very much at all. And now he's going to fly that one into the outfield. That's deep. It's caught. There goes Teo, and Hernandez will score. He's going to get there safe. And a sac fly brings home the first run of the game for Seattle. They take a 1-0 lead, and exactly what Diaz needed to do in that spot, he does it there. Nick Solak now comes up, and over 800 OPS for him this season. This lineup is just really deep all around, as that is a ball to Solak, an all-star this year for Seattle. And a 1-1 count to him now. Grounder to second base. A good stop by Story. An even better pick by Jalen Ruff there at first base, actually. Don't know why that throw was so poor from Trevor Story. But anyway, there is a 3 out of the inning, but Seattle does strike for a run in the second. So here's Dustin Harris, a 717 OPS for him. Overall, he was okay. His slugging was really good. In his time in the majors, he had, I think that was at like 17. Or, I mean, he had double-digit home runs for sure. And I think his slugging was around 450 or so. So he had a good season slugging-wise and power-wise. And he's a very exciting player overall for Boston for the future. Kevin Biggio was up, and he definitely struggled this year. Did not have nearly as good of a year as he did last season, and he takes a sinker for a strike 3. Webb with his 5th K, and another one looking. And I kind of feel like Boston's being a little bit too patient here at the plate. They gotta take advantage of some of these pitches for Logan Webb. He's not going to give you very much to swing at here at all. That's just not his game. He's better than that. So take advantage of the pitches, the good pitches when they do come. That's a single, though, for Trevor Story. So man on here, 2 on, 2 out for Alejandro Kirk. Big spot for one of the best hitters on this team, and that's a pitch that runs inside and hits him. So now the bases are loaded. And suffice it to say, but this is a very important early scoring opportunity for Boston. Urias is at the plate here. That's a slider. That is low for a ball. Okay, 3 balls and a strike now. And Urias has the count advantage here. And it's a swing and a pop-up in the infield first base line. And it's caught for the out. Wow, that was brutal right there. My goodness. Yeah, Urias kicking himself. That was such a golden opportunity to try to get on the scoreboard, and they do not do it there in that third inning. So we go bottom 3, 2 down for Clevenger, who overall has pitched really well. I've liked what I've seen from him so far today, as that's a great curveball there, inside corner. Again, I don't think he's been locating poorly at all in this game, and that's a four-seamer low for the strikeouts. Nothing Thomas can do with that, and I think that's only his second strikeout of the game for Clevenger so far. But a beautiful inning for him in that frame, and he still has only given up 1 hit through 3 innings so far. So these two pitchers, I mean, maybe some trouble that they both haven't had to navigate, but they're overall pitching pretty well and having a good start to this game for both of them here, as up comes Kyle Tucker for his second at bat. Struck out looking at his first time up. And that's a ground ball. It's slowly rolled, and what a good pick! And a throw to first that's in time. Great barehanded pick there by Gio Urshela, and a great throw to get the outs. Wow, I thought that was probably going to be a base hit initially, and Gio Urshela is, not a superstar defender necessarily, but man, that was a beautiful play, and he is also a free agent at the, the conclusion of this season for Seattle. As that's a ground ball stopped by Urshela. Urshela's showing the leather. Man, he's flashing the glove here in this 4th inning. Another fantastic play by Gio Urshela, stopping the ball on a diving attempt, and then gets up and throws it and perfectly strike to first base. There, right? Wow, 116 throw distance. I mean, just the quickness that had to be done with there to get the out. That was impressive. So there's a ground ball, and that one's a little bit easier than the previous ones that Gio Urshela had to make in that inning. But a 1-2-3, top of the 4th with some great defense as well. So 2 down in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's T.O., and that's a swing and a miss. High fastball for a strikeout. And, yeah, I think that, Clevenger's pretty settled into the game right now. Both these pitchers are. This is a pitcher's duel. It seems like developing here in this game. I mean, no surprise based on who's on the mound. 1-0 as we go to the 5th inning. And there's a swing and a drive by Harris, and that one lands in the outfield for a single. Dustin Harris is going to get extra bases. So a double for the rookie here in his first ever playoff action. And he's in scoring position here for Boston, trying to get something off of Logan Webb, and that's a ground ball and stopped in the hole by Bogarts, but no chance really to get the runner, as that's a base hit, and that was Biggio there getting on. Leads the way for and Kike Hernandez. Ground ball, and that's not what we want to see. That's not what the doctor ordered, a double play. That's huge. That gets 2 down in the frame immediately, and now it's going to take a base hit to score the run from third base. So Dustin Harris sitting there waiting. Can Trevor Story come through again? He's already has 2 singles in this game. Needs a third hit right here. 1-0 pitch, and that's a swing and a miss. Really good slider there inside. And this is one of the biggest moments of the game to this point for Boston's offense. You're not going to have many opportunities like this against Logan Webb tonight. No, not the way he's pitching. 1-2. That's a slider. Fly ball. It's deep. Soto on the move. Still going back. It's over his glove. And bounces over the wall. That's a ground rule double, and that was going to score Dustin Harris to tie the game. Trevor Story just getting it over the glove of Juan Soto in center. Look at how close this was here to the glove, and man, just a few more inches there. I mean, a foot or so away from the glove. Huge swing by Trevor Story. 1-1 tie. Kirk is up, but he's going to swing and miss. Wow, what is he swinging out there? for a poor swing by Kirk. Not a lot of times you see him swing like that. But that is a strikeout, so the 6-1 of the game for Logan Webb. But how about that clutch hit from one of the best, most improved players on this team this year? That man being, I don't know why they're just showing the strikeout there, but that man being Trevor Story with a monster double to tie the game. So here's Jared Walsh. Clevenger still going really strong. He's only at 47 pitches right now, which is a great spot to be with a pitch count, as that's a swing and a miss. There, 4th K of the game for Clevenger here to begin this 5th inning. And I mean, again, I love what I've seen from him swinging way early on that pitch. Is Jared Walsh. He's just been fantastic with his location all night. As here's Yandy Diaz. Sac fly back in the 2nd inning. The only run to this point for Seattle. And Diaz, 21 home runs for him is also pretty impressive. That's definitely a career high for him in that department. That's a swing and a miss. And yeah, only 17 balls. I mean, double the balls. Yeah, he's throwing strikes and twice the amount that he's throwing the balls in this game. That's a really good ratio there. As that's a swing and a drive by Diaz, and that one lands. And it's kind of a no man's land there in right field. And Diaz is up to second base, standing up with a 1-out double. So Diaz will put himself in scoring position. 2 down, 2 men on for Travis d'Arnaud now. Only had a .232 average this season, so a down kind of year offensively. And it's a pop-up in foul territory, and it is caught by Ruff at first base. And that is a big opportunity wasted there by Seattle. They only get their 2nd hit of the day off of Clevenger, and they cannot do anything with it. So still a 1-1 game here as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Logan Webb begins this frame with 80 pitches. And that slider, okay, somehow missed there. Don't know how, really. 26 bombs for Orioles this season. And now the count is 2-0, falling behind. Not a good strategy here, as that's a swing and a fly ball. A slider driven into the outfield, and it's gone! It just kept carrying. Luis Orioles with the home run. And Boston takes a 2-1 lead here in the 6th inning. Wow, number 3 hitter on this lineup, one of the best hitters on the team, and he comes through in the clutch. Big time swing to give Boston the advantage here, and 1 run in this type of a game feels like so much more just because of how good the pitchers have been today. 377 on the distance there. I really did not think that was going out at first when he hit that, but it just kept going. So huge swing right there by Urs, and now Kyle Tucker. Oh, that one's not close. That's a no-doubter. He absolutely crushes that. And back-to-back go Orioles and Tucker to extend the lead even further. It's 3-1. Wow, what a swing by Kyle Tucker, who had like 3 or 4 home runs in the division round last year for Boston. Was their best hitter in that series. And, I mean, best hitter on the team overall in general. But, man, crushes it here for a no-doubt bomb. So, now the lead is up to 2, and that sounds like a lot here in this game. 362 on the distance for Tucker. That went about halfway up the rows there in right field. So, after back-to-back home runs, that is going to be the end of the line for Logan Webb, and I don't really think that they should have kept him in the game anyway after that home run by Orioles. But then they do this. Why? Brett Hanirola Jr. comes out, a 1.56 whip for him this season. He was this team's worst relief pitcher this year. Okay, he gets a strikeout here of Darren Ruff. I just hate this. I just hate this move. I just think the bullpen, the CPU does not make the best bullpen decisions. Just in general, that's been a problem with this game for. I mean, that still is a problem with this game. I mean, I think even in the new ones, that really hasn't been fixed, because Brett Hanirola Jr. should not be the guy that they go to in this spot here with a 2-run game in the playoffs here in the wildcard game. But anyway, he gets 2 strikes on Van Meter, and that's a swing and a miss for a strike there, and that's a strikeout. Okay, Hanirola Jr., he does have 2 strikeouts here to the 2 guys he's faced so far in this inning, but this is the only inning that I'm going to let him pitch. That's for sure. as there's 2 down in the frame. Dustin Harris at the plate. And a 1-2 to him is a ground ball, a chopper to third base, and that is going to end the 6th inning. But not before major damage is done by the Boston Barons hitting right here. They're 3 and 4 hitters coming up huge with 2 long balls. First Urias and then Kyle Tucker to give the Boston a 3-1 lead. So now Seattle's got to do something here. Only 2 hits off of Clevenger, and he's still only at 58 pitches right now. So the time is now here with the top of the order coming up 1, 2, and 3 in this 6th inning. As that's a slider, good location. The location has been so good the entire day for Mike Clevenger. He has just been on point so far. And that's a swing and a miss. Wow, slider way in the dirt for a strikeout, and that's, I believe, number 7. Or, actually, never mind, it's number 5 for Clevenger today. So, the strikeouts, they've been there when he's needed them. Not necessarily the 9K rate that he really was able to put up this year with the over 200 strikeouts, but he's got Soto with 2 strikes now, and Soto 0 for 2 on the day, and he's their superstar, so can he come through with something here? 0-2 pitch, and a ground ball, and that is going to beat the shifted infielders here and into center, and it's going to go a long way, and there goes Soto up to second base. Wow, good job reading where that ball was going and where the outfielders were. Good read there by Juan Soto to stretch that into a double. So the shift really backfires on them there because the outfielders were playing deep, I think, there, it looked like. But now Teoscar Hernandez is up and he's doubled already in this game, and they need something just like that here with 2 down in the 6th inning. 2-1 pitch, and that's a fly ball, and that one is going to land! Oh, a diving attempt by the right fielder, but that is not going to be a catch, and that's going to score Juan Soto from second base. So Teoscar Hernandez comes through here, and again, his second hit of the day. 4-seamer outside of the zone, and he just gets it to land in right field. Huge swing there. 2 down in the inning. Jared Walsh up now, and he's going to fly that one into center, and it's deep. Tucker's still on the move, and he makes the catch, banging up against the wall. What a play by Kyle Tucker. That was a great catch. I don't know if he robbed this. It was maybe going to be a home run. I think it might have been off the top of the wall, but still a great play, a robbery. If that hit off the wall, the game is tied, because Teoscar Hernandez was going on the swing and on contact. So John Curtis is going to come out of the bullpen here for the Raptors, and he has a 3.27 ERA out of the bullpen this year. He was one of the better bullpen guys for this team this season. Was fantastic this year. Starting off against Calvin Biggio, and it's really important that this lead stays right where it is here with Seattle getting a huge run in that last inning. That's a swing and a miss. Curtis getting a strikeout there. Now Kike Hernandez, and he's going to foul that one away. Count is moving to 2-2 now. And the 2-2 pitch is a swing and a miss. Hernandez cannot catch up to that one, and Curtis, this has been an inning. 2 strikeouts for him here so far. Looking pretty untouchable out of the bullpen in this 7th inning for Seattle. So 2 down for Trevor Story, who is 3 for 3 tonight. As that hitless streak is going to end here, it looks like fly ball in left field, and that is going to be the end of the 7th. So, stretch time in Seattle. These fans are a little bit restless here. Their team trailing by a run as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Mike Clevenger's still out there. Only at 80 pitches now with that pitch, but that was, not even close to the zone. I don't know. It'll probably be his last inning, I think, at this point here in the game, but we'll see. 3-1 pitch. Ground ball. Stopped in the hole. Good jump throw by Urias. Good play there to get out number 2. So now it's Gio Urshela. 2 down in the 7th inning here. The count is 3-0 to him. And, okay, he went to 3 balls on the last hitter. And now he does it again here with Urshela. And that one misses inside for ball 4. So I think that's the first walk that Clevenger has allowed in this game. And that is going to be it. Wow, okay, I'm actually kind of surprised that they did not let him try to finish the 7th inning off here in this game, but I don't hate this move. I to kind of take it back. I hate that they brought out Miguel Figueroa out of the bullpen instead of somebody else that was way better. 4.2 ERA. Yeah, I mean, Figueroa wasn't, like, awful this year or anything like that. 46 strikeouts for him, but I do think that this team has better players in their bullpen to bring in this situation. But there's a fly ball, and it is caught. Okay, he does get the out there. A little pop-up in the hole for the out, and that will probably be the last inning. I mean, Figueroa, you just need him to get one out, and he does right there in the 7th inning. So we're gonna bring on Alex. So they're gonna bring on Alex Colomé there. The Raptors goal 3.43 ERA for him. Yep, overall pretty good numbers this year for him. And his role right now: do not let Boston score anything. And he's got the first 2 outs on 6 pitches here in the 8th, with Kyle Tucker coming to the plate. So big opportunity here, big spot. Can you get through the heart of this order one more time in this game? That's a fly ball into the outfield here, and it looks like, I think that's Lane Thomas in right that has it, and he does make the catch to end the 8th inning. So 6 more outs. That's left, and that's what's left in the Raptors season, and they gotta face Drew Streckenrider, who had an unreal year, 2.15 ERA, and he's under 1 whip, one of the best setup men in the entire league this season. That's a ground ball, stopped by Biggio. Throw across the diamond, and pulls Darren Ruff off of the bag. Wow, so that's an error by Calvin Biggio there. And now the runner is on here unarmed. So Xander Bogaerts is at the plate. That fastball is there for the strike. And yeah, you don't want to, this team has the best setup closer combination probably in the entire league right now. So it's going to be tough. Here is, that's a ball in the dirt, but they get him out! Wow, what a play by Alejandro Kirk. Ball in the dirt, he has to scramble to find it, and he makes the throw to get the out at second base. That was a huge play right there. Changes the complexion of this inning, I think, now, because, wow, and now, especially with the walk, you're talking about a difference now of first and second, nobody out, to runner on first and 1 out. Juan Soto here. I mean, this is the inning for Seattle. They got their heart of their batting order right now. That's a line drive. Good hit by Soto. And again, man, you're now really kicking yourself for getting the runner thrown out at second base, because that could have scored. The runner there, though, was hit really hard, so they might not have risked sending him home there. But at the very least, you had bases. We would have had bases loaded and nobody out right now. Teoscar Hernandez is up. Fouls away the four-seamer. At least you got a hitter that has had a good day at the plate in this situation here. Tio 2 for 3 with an extra base hit today. 1-2 count. It's a ground ball. Urias has got it. A flip to Story. And the throw to first is in time. Oh, that is a killer. Double play for turn by Boston. Wow. That is absolutely brutal. And the Raptors do not score at all in the 8th inning. Tim Mesa comes out, and he started the year as a closer, blew a lot of saves. His numbers overall weren't really that bad, a 3.63 ERA overall this season. 2 down here in the 9th, and that's a swing and a miss. Okay, Gavin Biggio at the plate. The count is full to him here. Got a man on base right now. And the 3-2, that's a grounder. That's stopped. And, okay, the little flip there by Walsh to the pitcher. And Mesa goes all the way to the bag to get the out. And that'll end the inning there. And the bullpen for the Raptors have done their job. They've held the lead at 3-2. But can the offense do theirs against, the runner-up to the reliever of the year race and the best closer in baseball the last couple of seasons, David Bednar. 2.29 ERA, 1.09 whip, 47 out of 49 saves this year. Only blew 2 the entire season. I mean, this guy is just a ridiculous closer. He is the premier shut-down man in baseball. And so hard task here for Seattle. They got to get a run against him. But first off, they got to get a base run against David Bednar, because he's not going to give up a home run. Really, he does not do that very much at all. As that is a pitch that somehow misses. Okay, that was really close. I think that was probably a strike right there to Walsh. But now the count is full to him here. And that is a walk. Okay, really good at bat by Jared Walsh to begin this inning. Exactly what you needed if you're Seattle here. Get a man on for, you know, I mean, I know it's more towards the bottom of the batting order, but Yanni Diaz is a guy that is a huge, you know, hit-to-contact guy. Kind of the exact guy you want up in this spot here. And they're going to have him lay down a bunt, and he pops it up! Oh, man. That's brutal.
Oh
I don't really know if I like that. I mean, I get why they would want him to bunt there, but Yanni Diaz has such good contact, and he gets on base so often that I feel like you're taking the bat out of his hands there a little bit by asking him to bunt, but he doesn't lay it down successfully. So that was an unproductive out. That was a terrible situation there. Now Lane Thomas fly ball. Van Meter is there to make the catch. Man, that was hit well. A little good stop by Urias there. But good. That was hit well by Thomas, but just, or by Nick Solak, but it just did not find the outfield. And now Gio Urshela is up, and he is their last hope all of a sudden. That's 2 down now in the inning. As the 1-1 pitch. There's a ground ball. That one's through the hole and into right field. Okay. Single here keeps the game going and moves the tying run up to second base. I mean, that was a curveball right down the middle there by Bendo. Not a good pitch at all from him. As there is a 1-0 count. And now these fans on their feet, making as much noise as they can. Nervous time here for Seattle, trying to not see their season end. As that's fouled away by Darno. Count is now even, 2 strikes on Travis. The count is now full. 3-2 pitch. It's a pop-up in the infield. Urias is calling for it, and he's got it! And the game is over. David Bednar does lock it down in the 9th inning, and Boston holds on to win the wildcard game on the road here in this one, 5-4, and they will play Mexico City in the American League Division Series.
That is tough, dude.
Whew, wipe the sweat off of your brow there if you are a Parents fan, because that was tight, and that was really close. Man, the Raptors had their chances in the 8th and 9th innings, and they cannot come through. They cannot get the clutch hit when it mattered there in those last 2 frames, and they will see their season end. So, man, for the Raptors, disappointing. I mean, both teams that were the top seeds in the playoffs last year are eliminated here in the wildcard matchup. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive, honestly. You know, we won't have a repeat World Series champion. We already know that because, you know, the Houston did not make it to the playoffs this season. But we won't even have we won't have either one of the same teams that made it to the World Series in their, actually, who made it to the World Series? No, it was Houston playing against, it was Houston playing against Nashville. So we'll have 2 new teams in the World Series for sure this year. And Boston here, their offense was good enough. You know, home run by Urias and Tucker, those were 2 huge swings there in the 6th inning. And their pitching staff was great in this game. Clevenger was fantastic, 6.2 innings, gets the win. 2 runs allowed, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, only 4 hits. He was unreal. And then Figueroa, Steckenrider, and Bednar, they all did their jobs there. Steckenrider with the hold, and Bednar with the save. A hit and a walk in that 9th inning. So a little bit tight there, but he does close the door out. And Seattle, man, they had 6 hits in this game. Their offense was really, you know, not consistent in this one, but they had their chances there at the end, and they just couldn't come through. Soto and Hernandez both had 2 hits. Those guys are really the biggest pieces to their offense all game. Diaz did have a sac fly and another RBI, and a couple of walks for Gio Urshela tonight. And the pitching, Logan Webb had a good start. That's a good start. We take that. I mean, they only had 1 hit, while Boston did after the 5 innings that Logan Webb pitched in this game. But 3 runs for him. Does get handed the loss in this one, though. But the bullpen for Seattle was perfect in this game. But not going to matter because they are not moving on. And so we will have the continuation of the playoffs next time. I think we have a AAA playoff game for your next episode because it's a really good pitching matchup between two of the best pitching prospects in baseball. We'll highlight that because I want to fit both of the both AL and the NLDS Game 1. I want to fit those in the same video and not overload it with adding another AAA playoff game in there. The video would be ridiculously long if I did that. So that is a plan for next time here on this channel. Really, please subscribe to the channel right now. This is, the playoffs are starting here. We are officially kicked off with that. So subscribe to the channel so you're sure to not miss another upload from me. And I will see all you guys in the next one. Hope you all had a happy holiday and a happy new year to everyone here. Hope your 2026 is, I just pray for blessings and a good year for everybody out there this season here in the new year. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you all in the next one here with a AAA playoff game, but then the NL and ALDS will begin. So see you then. Have a great day, everybody, and God bless.